Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So happy to have our next guest here. He's going to talk to us a little bit about AI, your business, non-for-profits, and embracing, not being afraid of AI and how you can utilize that as well. So please welcome Mustafa Tamez. He is the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Outreach Strategist LLC. Welcome, Mustafa.
Good to be with you.
Thank you so much. And we were happy to have you at the Chamber's luncheon just a couple of weeks ago, and you and about 2,000 other attendees. Thank you so much. You have been such an integral part of Houston, friend of the Chamber and entrepreneur. So again, my thanks to you and your team for all that you do.
Well, thanks. And I tell you, every year you set a very high bar for your annual luncheon. It is not a luncheon; it's an experience because there's a lot of energy and it's a lot of fun, and it just feels like a reunion every time you're in that room with 2,000 people.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. We're a small team and we always post the event. It's great to hear the connections between our entrepreneurs and other people, meetings they've set up as a result, interviews that people get for jobs. And it's a win-win for our city. And I think especially as there's so much going on across the country and even in Houston, it's a time for us to come together and realize that this is a vibrant, can-do city with leaders like yourself, and to focus on the positive and what is possible. So on that note, AI, lots of conversation about AI. So tell us from your perspective what folks should know and how it can help and augment the work they're doing in their businesses.
Well, it's kind of like what you were talking about, the big event that you just had. It creates connections, right? And AI is a mechanism to basically connect things quicker and faster. Uh, a lot of data, a lot of information. So you got 2,000 people in the room, but key connections happen where business takes place. Same thing in the AI world. A lot of information exists for us, but how does that information connect? How does it help us move our organizations forward? And so there's a general fear about the technology. People believe that, oh, it's going to eliminate jobs, and they have this sense of scarcity. And every time we've had innovation, every time we've had advancement in technology, there's always job losses in a certain part or certain segment, but then there's gains in somewhere else because the demand only increases as we increase productivity. So we talk to a lot of clients all the time on AI and how they can integrate it into their workflows to make their work more effective, to be more responsive to their customers, and to really improve customer service across the board. And when we do that, you basically create more demand for your services, and you're able to hire more people and just do more.
Well, and on the other side of it, let's assume you keep your workforce. AI is taking care of, let's say, this list of things. It keeps the other people, gives the other people time to do some of the things that they would like to do, but for AI, they don't have the time to do it, right?
That's exactly it. So, what we should be thinking about from a leadership standpoint, those of you that run big companies or small companies and everything in the middle, is what kind of applications that need to be developed and what kind of workflows that could be adapted to AI. So, for example, anything that's repetitive, right? So, I have a friend of mine who runs a doctor's office, and to this day, a fax comes in from the general practice and referring patients, and information goes back and forth between fax machines in doctors' offices. I don't know about you. Have you noticed that?
You said fax machine.
Fax machines. So if you go to any physician's office, and again, there's lots of physicians in Houston, that you will find that they're still using fax machine to send information, right? So he was struggling on how do I get out of this, because even if I don't use the fax machine, the people I deal with use fax machines, right? So there's an AI solution for that. You're able to take the incoming fax, take the data that comes from fax, and just put it into your ERP system. Now, it costed probably about $2,500 for them to make that automation, but in doing so, the accuracy, the speed at which they were able to do it, the appointments that didn't get missed, the security in the data that was being transferred, all of those things were being able to handle. So a small investment upfront in automation yields so much more in their ability to serve their patients and long term, save on this redundant paperwork.
Sure, sure. So that's a great example, Mustafa. What do you think it's going to take for, let's say, folks who are slow on the jumping on board, like some of those fax people, right? What is it going to take for them to say, okay, maybe this AI stuff is not a trend, kind of like the computer was not a trend. What's it going to take?
Well, look, if you just look at the stats around the world, AI is adopted about 52, 53% of the people use some source of it. In the United States, it's only 28%. And
Oh,
that's not like any of all the technologies are like that. In places where you have very established technology, new things take longer to adopt, right? And so it completely makes sense. But AI is automation of automation, right? It is the kind of thing that automates itself. So we need to rapidly adapt to it. We need to rapidly adapt our workforces, and we as leaders really need to use it ourselves to understand how our workforce can use it. So this is to me, it's a personal responsibility. There's a lot happening in the world. This is the subject of a lot of conversation. Rather than being afraid of it, let's try to understand it and work with it. If we work with it ourselves, the ideas in our entrepreneurs and our leaders that lead big agencies and small businesses, the ideas will come to them in terms of like, how can we use it in our own shop? And so applying it is where the power is.
okay. On that note, I feel like more entrepreneurs are utilizing Chat GPT as an example. On the other hand, there are some who feel like kind of like the what is it, Alexa in the home, right? That you're commanding and they're playing music, and it seems innocent enough until there's breaches in confidentiality. So let's talk about confidentiality and if there's any truth to the concerns with Chat GPT and similar programs that somehow it's culling data about you and it's going to somehow be used against your business or against you.
Well, one thing, there's very little privacy in the digital space now. You send an email, information on there is being aggregated and anonymized, meaning that they're not looking at who sent what email, what did the email say, but it anonymizes that information, and then you're seeing ads right, on your feed. So you're sending emails about, the great event at the chamber, and I'm thinking about doing an event. And all of a sudden, you're seeing in your Facebook feed ads about event planning, right? So that's data gets anonymized and used for marketing all the time. So the privacy is very limited, and in order to get privacy, you have to pay a premium, right? You have to get an encrypted email or something. In general, outside of that anonymous selling part, like how safe is it? I think that for most people, and it's not for everybody, and some people are in national security, some people are on some very high security things, a little different for them. But for most of us, we can give up a little bit of that fear of privacy for more productivity, right? Because there's a lot riding on these companies. If somehow you put something on that AI and that shows up in a public space somewhere, what kind of liability does ChatGPT get then at that point? What kind of liability does Google have if that ever happens? So they're very careful. They have a lot of security around that. I think that because of the fear, sometimes we don't engage something and use it to its maximum, utility. And I think that for us, we have already decided as a society to give up some portions of our privacy for that productivity, and AI is no different.
Or so on that note, you mentioned something about you type something in an email and then you start getting ads in your Facebook feed or elsewhere. Would that be the case too with your phone in your hand, where you're talking to someone about something? Because I feel like it's happened to me where I say something and then I get an advertisement on whatever it is I just spoke of.
Yeah. So in the ad business, which we're a big part of, right? We do a lot of digital advertising for one of the largest shop in Houston to do that. Um, you are able to build lists purchase list, acquire list, advertise to a certain group of people. It's called intent marketing. So if your intent, whether you're searching for something, sending out emails, you're putting out a signal to say, I'm interested in X. For
Yeah.
advertisers, right? Now the timing of how it connects to you is critically important. So when you're searching, when you're emailing, when you're talking to Alexa, your kind of like your IP address is being identified as someone interested in this. Not your name, not your personal information, but the fact that you're interested in this is in universe. So if I'm looking to advertise to people that are interested in events planning, right? Your name's going to pop up, not your name, but your IP is going to pop up, and you're going to start seeing those ads. That's intent advertising. So it's the same thing as you see a blue shirt, you like a blue shirt, in a different way. All of a sudden, you start seeing blue shirts wherever you go, right? Online. And people are trying to sell you that blue shirt online all the time. That's remarketing, right? That's a different form of kind of uh, looking at a pixel and then advertising those people. So we have all, as a society, given up some portion of our privacy so that we can lower our costs in technology because advertising, watching TV, watching those ads, giving up, watching something on your phone, looking at something, on your laptop, you're giving up some of that for that free internet experience that you have.
Got it. Well, Mustafa, anything else you want to share with the audience before we wrap up?
Well, I would say this, and I think that a lot of your viewers, especially people in the small, mid-sized businesses, have a lot of concerns about privacy and security. And I think we have to be very conscious of it. At the same time, this emerging technology, it can't prevent us from learning it and mastering it, because if it leaves us behind, automation of automation, it moves so much faster than it will have real consequences to our businesses. So, as you said when we started, you got to embrace it.
Yes, it's here to stay and ever changing. Mustafa, thank you so much for all you do. We'll see you real soon. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Soy el jefe de jefes, señores.
Put the baby away. I got some jokes for your ass. Wouldn't it be cool if Mike Tyson was a uncle of yours or something, and somebody was with you? All you had to do is run in the house. Mike, stop crying. What happened? And I had low testosterone, slow leak in my balls, and the only way to fix it was with some Fix-A-Flat. Tell me you love me. Tell me you love me. You are.
Get ready to make unforgettable memories with your little ones at Elmo's Got the Moves, the all-new Sesame Street live show coming to your neighborhood June 25th, Smart Financial Center at Sugarland. Tickets on sale now at smartfinancialcenter.net.
Netflix series star Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium, is bringing his live show, An Evening of Hope and Healing, to you. Friday, May 29th, Smart Financial Center at Sugarland. Tickets on sale now at smartfinancialcenter.net.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. It is with great pleasure that we welcome our next guest. He is the Executive Vice President of ADL Southwest, and he is George Salim. We will be having other folks from the ADL join us on our television program because they've got so many wonderful things. But today we want to talk with George to find out more about what is being done here in Houston and why that's so very important given this extraordinary time here in Houston, across the country and across the globe. George, welcome and thanks for joining us.
Dr. Laura, it is a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let's get started. Not everyone is familiar with ADL. Let's start with that. What is ADL? And I know it's Southwest. So tell us more about that, George.
Sure. So I'm here today in ADL's office in Houston, Texas, called ADL Southwest. So ADL is a 113-year-old organization dedicated to fighting anti-Semitism and protecting civil rights of all people across the United States.
Okay, so having said that, we know that there was a horrific occurrence that happened in October of 2023 in Israel. Talk to us about the current situation. Many people are confused by it or maybe don't have the facts straight. Can you provide a picture of this for our audience, please?
Sure. You're referring to the events of October 7th of 2023, the horrific terrorist attack committed by Hamas on the people of Israel. And let me just kind of give you some context into kind of what that means and how it has manifested itself for ADL. And so let me give you kind of an overview in terms of what we've seen, which is the fact that since 10/7, we've seen anti-Semitic incidents in recent years really surge. ADL has reported more than 9,300 incidents across the United States in calendar year 24. That's the year after 2023, the attacks of 10/7. This was the highest year ever recorded of anti-Semitic incidents across the United States. Anti-Semitic incidents, these are incidents of vandalism, harassment, assault, actual physical in-person incidents have increased by nearly 900% over the past decade. So the trend line of anti-Semitic incidents that we've seen over the past decade has increased significantly. And I would really say that what we've seen is an epidemic of anti-Semitic incidents over the past decade. Here in Texas, specifically in Greater Houston, we've had more than 250 anti-Semitic incidents in the past year. And these incidents are particularly substantial and concerning because when we see an anti-Semitic incident, we know it's not just affecting the Jewish community, whether it's here in Houston or elsewhere, but these are broader patterns and trends that we see that are often precursors to incidents motivated by, racial animus or some type of other xenophobic intent. And so we're really concerned about the broader rise of hate crimes and bias-based crime affecting all communities.
And when you say that, one of the communities clearly is that of the immigrant community, Latino or not. I think when we hear the word immigrant, there's an automatic assumption that these are Latino immigrants as a whole. Talk to us a little bit more about the role you all are playing with the immigrant community.
Well, it's very substantial, and ADL is very proud of our civil rights legacy. This is a legacy that really has spanned more than a century. I referenced at the top when you asked me about ADL, for more than 113 years, ADL has fought against hate and discrimination of all forms and of all fashions. ADL was literally at the table when President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. ADL marched alongside Dr. Martin Luther King and helped shape landmark civil rights legislation and has consistently stood for justice and equality and inclusion of all communities. Our mission, as I referred to at the top, is to protect the Jewish people, and by extension, to defend rights and dignity of all people that are being targeted by hate or bias in some form or fashion. And we think by doing this, but in confronting today's anti-Semitism, we are continuing our longstanding commitment to a world where no one is targeted based on race, ethnicity, national origin, etc. And to the point of our conversation today, the Hispanic community here in Houston and elsewhere across the United States is no exception. I mean, we've spoken out in the past in response to anti-immigrant rhetoric. We've issued reports for a number of years showing how Hispanics and Latinos have been scapegoated, particularly by the far-right extremist movements. We've worked together with and in coalition with Hispanic and Latino organizations across the board to stand up against hate that targets the Hispanic and Latino communities. And we're very proud of this work that has included great signature partners like LULAC and the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference as well.
So as we look at 2026, what would you like to share with the audience regarding ADL's plan of work?
So, looking forward over the next 12 months, we're at a really exciting period, launching our signature partnership with NHCLC, the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference. Coming up in just another month and a half or so, we're launching our national conference, which is our Never Is Now conference in New York City, where 5,000 kind of volunteer leaders, community advocates, and activists are going to join us in person to learn more about some of the topics we're talking about here today, about the patterns and trends of anti-Semitism, role that community leaders and community advocates can play. We'll be highlighting our signature partnership with a lot of our Latino and Hispanic partners across the country. And one of those signature partnerships that will be on display is the MOU that we've signed with NHCLC, with leaders from the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference. And we're going to really highlight the work that we've done, not just with the Hispanic community today, but we've done with the Asian community during COVID, our signature work with the African American community. We continue to work in partnership with communities across the country, and that will really be part of what we're showcasing and highlighting for the rest of this calendar year.
Very well. On behalf of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, we want to thank you for the work that you're doing in your leadership, and we continue to partner with you the rest of this year and years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the partnership. Looking forward to staying in conversation with you.
Soy el jefe de jefes, señores.
Get ready to make unforgettable memories with your little ones at Elmo's Got the Moves, the all-new Sesame Street live show coming to your neighborhood June 25th, Smart Financial Center at Sugar Land. Tickets on sale now at smartfinancialcenter.net.
Netflix series star Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium, is bringing his live show, An Evening of Hope and Healing, to you. Friday, May 29th, Smart Financial Center at Sugar Land. Tickets on sale now at smartfinancialcenter.net.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We love to have entrepreneurs on our program, and today my dear friend Edward Sanchez is joining us on the program. He's been very involved with the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for many, many years. You've seen him out in the community. You've seen him doing philanthropic work, and now he's part of a collective group that have come together for a book called Entrepreneurship. He's a contributor. He's one of the writers to one of the chapters in the book, and he's going to talk to us a little bit, not only about the book, but also about his career here in the Houston area with celebrities and others as he works to make some beautiful eyebrows look even better. My friend, thanks for joining us, Edward Sanchez.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Laura. It's amazing to be here.
Well, we appreciate it. And I know you're in Las Vegas now and you travel throughout the country with different clients, et cetera. And you made time. You made time this year to put together some thoughts that you have on entrepreneurship, a collaborative of other entrepreneurs here in the Houston area. So tell us about that and your experience.
Well, Entrepreneur Secrets, it was a brainchild of Peter Remington, who was actually the author of the book and put together 25 entrepreneurs and wanted to really know their story. And my story resonated with him because I didn't have a traditional trajectory, for instance. I didn't go to business school. I didn't go and get an MBA. I was just a beauty advisor at a counter for Lancome at Foley's and Neiman Marcus. And I had dreams and aspirations. And luckily enough, I've been able to focus them and create my own business. So it's been very, very a very long road.
It has. And Edward, one of the things I really appreciate about you and most entrepreneurs is it's not success at the first try. I mean, I have been by your side for decades now. I realize as friends,
Yes.
Someone who's always cheering you on and vice versa. And life happens, right? Things happen. And you get up and you start and you find and you do, and you started your cosmetic line and you started it and it stopped and you started it. But it's got persistence, if you will, that I admire about you and entrepreneurs. So for folks who have that bug in their ear that they want to do it, provide them with some of your secrets to entrepreneurship.
Well, if they want to know all the secrets, they're going to have to buy the book.
It's on Amazon, so go to Amazon and get a copy.
Yes, and actually today it's 99 cents. So if you go today, you'll get the deal for 99 cents. But I mean, some of the things that have really kept it resonating with me through my career and through my life has been, if one door closes, another one opens. If they're both doors are closed, guess what? A window may be open. There's always an opportunity. If there's a will, there's a way. And never take no for an answer. Be persistent about it and be true to your word. A lot of people out there, they want to achieve the high goals and they want to make it to the very top as soon as their first try. And a lot of people think, "Oh my goodness, Edward, you're doing it." Well, it's taken me 35 years to do it, to finally realize this is how you do it. These are the connections you make. And this is how, being persistent, this is how it pays off.
Well, and one other thing that you're really good about, and I'd like to think that I am too, that's reciprocating, right? Is that you have a lot of connections and you are able to find opportunities to open doors for others, sometimes a window or leaving the window open so somebody can come through. So that reciprocation of people who've helped you, that you turn around and help them. And I'm so happy to see you contributing, as I know a lot of the folks who are in this particular book with different entrepreneurs and a lot of great Houstonians who have, as you said, been constantly working at their craft, at their business. And I want to emphasize, especially for young people, these things do not happen overnight. It takes a lot of consistency, asking questions, writing things down. Taking a no is sometimes okay because, as I like to say, sometimes no means not now. God has other plans for you. And it's just been fascinating to see, again, you as an entrepreneur just finding your way through all of this and making it happen one thing at a time. So I would like to talk a little bit about your business, right? Let's talk about what it is that you do, and so people can understand how you got here.
Well, as a cosmetologist, I'm a licensed provider for hair services and facials and beauty services, but I really focused on eyebrows. I really kind of took to that at a very young age. And I started to really see how eyebrows could change someone's face. And if you don't believe me, shave off your eyebrows and tell me what you look like. So I had a certain knack for it and my talent, and I went with it. And I have been sought after by people from all over the world that come to see me to perfect their eyebrows, to make them look like sisters and not like distant cousins, to make them look more beautiful and to make them look more rejuvenated, because eyebrows are very important.
It's the frame of the face,
it's the frame of the face.
When I interview people, so this is your opportunity to name drop. Some of your client list include.
Oh my goodness, some of my best clients.
Yeah.
Some of my best clients in my career have been people like Queen Noor of Jordan, which was an amazing. Her Majesty was beautiful. I also got to do Joan Rivers before she passed, and Betty White. Most recently, Jennifer Aniston and Molly Ringwald. The list is so long.
Again, this did not happen overnight. You've been doing it, and we're so happy that you're here in Houston, Texas. And so give them the name of your company so they can go out and reframe their face and their eyebrows. And
yes, I invite everybody to come to our salon. Our salon is in Spring Branch Memorial area, and it's called Arched Beauty, both words put together, Arched Beauty. And we are a salon there that we've been there for 14 years.
Excellent. Well, Edward Sanchez, congratulations. Thank you for being very involved in the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, participating in our Business Institute, and again, just for being a dear, dear friend. I'm so very proud of you. And if you've not got your book already, please do Entrepreneur Secrets. Thank you, Edward Sanchez.
Thank you much.
Bye-bye.
The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is the leading advocate for the Hispanic business community. In Houston, we represent over $54 billion per year in consumer spending.
Our thanks to our board and staff for making sure we elevate business and advocate for a stronger economy.